Hi, my name's Andy. Welcome back to another folding bike workshop video. In this episode, I'll be restoring some folding bikes that I bought online secondhand. They were on a sailboat for 3 years and they are very rusty. So the first thing I will be doing is removing the rusted parts and the parts that I won't use, such as the mud guards, and we'll get rid of those. And then we'll look and see which parts need to be replaced. So I have a whole bunch of secondhand bike bits. If you want to know how I got the secondhand bike parts, you can have a look up here at my other video on how to get secondhand bike parts from the junkyard. The tools I'll be using today are pretty simple, just a crescent and a bike tool that has Allen keys. I also will be using a screwdriver and some WD-40 or CRC just to remove the rusted screws and other parts that might be rusted in place. So these bikes are a typical aluminium frame, 6-speed Shimano gear system. Because they're aluminium frame, they're not as rusty as they could be after being on the sailboat for so long. But you can see there's definite rust on the steel parts, including the mud guards here and various bolts that are just plain metal. The brake system on one of the bikes in particular is very seized up. This one seems okay. So I'll be removing the mud guards here first of all. We'll remove a lot of the parts off the frame that we don't need, the seat cover and things like that. As I said, I have 2 of these bikes. The other one's over here. It's exactly identical, except this one has a little bike bag under the saddle there. So one of these bikes is a lot more rusty than the other one. I'm guessing that when it was on board the sailboat, it was easier to get one bike out, much easier to get one bike out and take it than it was to get the other one. So they probably just took the one that was closest when they went to get groceries. But both of them are identical. Right down to the bell and reflectors, and everything is similar on them. So there's the first mud guard off. You can see the rust on that. Yeah, that's pretty bad. But we won't be needing that. Some of these parts are extremely rusty on the brakes. Looks like that's still got salt on it. Salt and sand and all sorts. We might be using a bit of this today. I've got both the mud guards off, and obviously they're pretty rusty because they're just steel, but the rest of the bike is in pretty good shape, like compared to what I expected for something that's been on the ocean for 3 years. So a lot of the bolts actually look like they're stainless steel, and of course the ones that aren't are very rusty, but with a little bit of CRC it's all coming apart pretty easily, so that's good. It's all covered in salt and rust, so I think once I've got it stripped back a little bit more, I'll go ahead and give it a wash with hot soapy water and just get all the salt off it. You can see what I mean here about the salt. It's just over everything. I mean, that is gnarly. I'm already getting it all over my hands. Looks like something that has been fished out of the sea. So now we got it at this point, it's probably about time for the road test. But before we do that, probably a little bit more WD-40. So it's actually working pretty good. We have all the gears. Front brakes are working really well. Back brakes aren't working that good. But everything else is good. Cool. So this bike is rolling pretty good. It's changing all the gears, the tires hold their air, all the things that I wanted out of it, it has delivered. So not bad for a $20 folding bike, albeit one that's been at sea for 3 years. It's still going to be a bit challenging to clean up all the sand and rust off it, and we'll just do that as time goes on. So stay tuned. If you like this folding bike restoration video, then please subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next video.